You came here since the 1990s, so a time that I was not, I was not born yet. I don't know what happened. Angkor Wat, back then, of course, compared to Germany, it was a bit rural. People are still living a bit in a difficulty. Yes, from the sources that I hear. So when you come here, sir, how did you adjust yourself to the work, of course, but also to the daily life, sir? For example, you make your way to the temple and back to the office, or maybe the food that you had, to eat, and the people that you had to meet, and also the climate that you had to adjust. How did you manage to do all of that and also to work on this monument, big projects?
Yeah, actually, specific the work, this develops slowly, step by step. Yeah, and of course, sometimes at the beginning I thought maybe I should not have started it because these huge monuments, all the other monuments which need help. But I think this is a process. If you can start something, first of all, you also want to become successful. Yeah, if you stop it, it's not very satisfying. Yeah, in between. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this is why, of course, we continued and built up, and it was growing and it became successful. We could engage Cambodian staff. We saw that they could increase their lifestyle. We could see that their families could increase their lifestyle. In general, of course, at the beginning it was exotic for us. It's tropic country.
Yes, sir.
Hot, yes. Rainy season, a lot of water. Everything was very simple. Okay, our first house or the guest house was also very simple. Yeah, of course. There we had a shower, finish, and a fan on the ceiling.
Nothing like today, sir.
Nothing like today. Yeah, now we live nearly luxury in this wonderful house here. Yeah, with aircon, etc. But it was nice, and when we had the first house rented, we had a cook. She was very good. We enjoyed the food. Yeah, it was for us exotic, and maybe we were a bit earlier than the mass tourists came to Southeast Asia, where they said, "Oh, Asian food is very, very good." Yeah. Now we have a friend. He is living in Germany. He has a blog of Asian food, Southeast Asian food. Yeah, he is at home. He is only cooking Asian food for him and his wife. Yeah, our house. Yeah, in the ceiling, the fan. Very many power cuts. So it was hot. Then the fan stopped. You start sweating. Then the fan started again. Then you catch the cold. We had a very primitive bathroom and toilet. Yeah, maybe you don't remember. There was a basin, always filled with water. This was our shower. Yeah, but it was okay. It was okay.
You didn't take it as something difficult.
No.
I mean, it's just part of life.
Part of life, and of course you have to also somehow to accept conditions when you want to do something. You cannot say, "Oh, I want to do this here, yeah, but I need for 5-star hotel. I want to only to live in 5-star." We don't have the money for 5-star hotels. Yes, of course. At that time, also the Grand Hotel, it was in a very, very bad condition. Once, the first time we were here, we sent a letter to the court, and we knew that the king was in town, so we asked for what is it called? A visit, an audience.
Audience, yes, sir.
And 2 days later, we had the invitation letter. Please come at that time at 3 o'clock.
So you used to pay a visit to the king, sir?
Yeah.
King Norodom Sihanouk.
Norodom Sihanouk, yeah, late king. And we went there, and then there was his office lady, and she said, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, you have time, 5 minutes. We said, okay. The king was in his audience room, And he invited us to sit down, and he started to talking, telling stories, asking us, what are you doing, how is going, how is life here? We were there more than 1 hour. And then we asked Majesty, maybe have a group photo. He said, of course, let's go to the garden. We had made a group photo. Wonderful. And he invited us for next day to a film session where he presented his films in the Grand Hotel. And it was really down the Grand Hotel at that time. But we had seen Angkor seen and dying, the title more or less of one of his films, etc. We had 3 hours filming at the Grand Hotel. But then also Grand Hotel improved, etc. And our next house was a bit higher standard, and we had a normal shower, and we had still the fans. And when we moved in here, we had the first room where we now are living, my wife and he always, which has its own bathroom, and we have an aircon. And then later I asked the owner, of course we had to pay to build in air cons in every room. So now everybody feels comfortable. And of course I have to confess, when I was young, I could deal with the heat much better than I can do nowadays. And of course I grew, so it's also took on weight, and this is more difficult than when you're very slim. But of course it's also, when it's new, it's challenging, and you don't take care about the heat. But nowadays we, of course, very often we have meetings, we have to sit, work on something we brought from Germany, etc. And then you need good climate, you cannot deal sitting outside. For us it's too hot, especially in June when we are here.
Yes, sir. And also your work at Angkor, many many bas-reliefs have been restored throughout your life. So you also see, the timeline that it goes. Yeah,
but this is something specific in conservation science, that this should never stop. And it doesn't mean when you have conserved in a specific area, then that's done forever. We cannot make it new like it was when it was built. There's still all the problems with it, and that's why in Germany we have a word for it, Denkmalpflege, which means maintenance, heritage maintenance. We don't say it's archaeology, it's heritage maintenance, which means you have to maintain. Like your house, you have to repair the roof, you have to repair the water drainage, etc. every times in a while. And that's the same with the monuments.